Hello everyone, and welcome back to what is probably the last time for the Eyes of Ara. So where I left off, I was basically stuck on the kind of the final puzzle, as it were. I did eventually have to get some help with it. I was not managing to make any headway whatsoever, and quite frankly I'm glad I did, because I probably would have been stuck on this indefinitely. I'm not, unless I'm missing something blindingly obvious, I'm not entirely sure how you would possibly manage to work this out. Maybe if you'd come across this puzzle or a similar situation recently, so you knew specifically what you were looking for and it just kind of clicked into place, but I'm afraid this was just not working for me whatsoever. So basically the way this works is it's based on 4 and factors of 4, so well, that and then scaling units. So you've got your first column, as it were, second column, third column, and then fourth column. First column is times by 1, second column is times by 4, third is 4 squared, and fourth is 4 cubed. So 4, 16, 64. Again, I think I had some kind of idea that basically whatever was happening at the beginning was magnitude greater than stuff that was happening at the end, simply by the way the numbers were falling. But honestly, like I said, I was nowhere near getting this solved whatsoever. So given that, we've got, I've completely forgotten what all the values are now, to be honest. So 2, what was that, 1 and then 2, and again this dash was throwing me off in that I thought you had to have a value in there or some kind of calculation, but essentially it's just a blank space. So yeah, anyway, so this is 2 times 64, which is 128. You've got essentially 0, you've got 1, 4, and then you've got 2 times 1. So it's 128 plus 0 plus 4 plus 2. Yes, it's plus, it's not multiplication, as you're, well, I don't know, depends how much you do these kind of calculations, but personally, if I'm looking at symbols in a line and there's no operation in between, it's multiplication. It always is. There's no question about it. It's simply a multiplication issue. So yeah, like I said, I think you probably have had to have come across this very recently and already had that kind of situation in mind to be able to work this one out. So all that being said, then that leaves our final answer at 134, I believe, and I've got to try and figure out yet again how to get all these dials ticking around in the right place, and I've forgotten how this all works. That's not right, it needed to be that way, didn't it? There we go, 134. Enter activation code. So we're not quite done then. What do I think the activation code is? Clementine? first thing that stuck out at me when I was time. Yeah, it seems long enough. Of course, being able to spell would be a definite positive in this situation. And knowing the order of the alphabet would also be a positive, and therefore I can come it from the start rather than scrolling away from the back. Correct, excellent. There was quite a few of them by the looks of it. Alright, there we go. So, job done then, I guess. Yeah, that would appear to be it. Not quite sure how I feel about the ending. I was expecting a bit more, to be honest. So basically they trekked across the stars all the way here. We built them eventually after sort of poking and prodding on their behalf, I presume. We built them some kind of bridge home, and that was that. I feel like we could have gotten a bit more out of it, but okay. So on the whole, yeah, not too bad. I quite enjoyed most of the puzzles. I definitely think I was overthinking one or two of them, which was, my fault basically. Some of them were a bit more obtuse than I would have. Well, saying that, I think the only one that sticks out that was kind of a downside, apart from the end one there, was the one in the planetarium, where I had to basically tweak the dial and didn't quite manage to get it right, and therefore made me rethink my entire strategy, as it were. So possibly again a case of overthinking it. But yeah, on the whole, very good game. I really enjoyed the puzzles. I do like that kind of game where you've got sort of puzzles at every turn, and they're obvious puzzles. They're not built into the environment, as it were. So they are sort of puzzles for puzzle's sake, but there is a backstory to it, so it explains why you're doing this rather than just, go ahead and do it. And overall the narrative was pretty good. There was interesting bits and pieces to read through as we went along. Could have possibly been wrapped up a bit more satisfactorily, I think, but not too bad. And yeah, possibly the only real downside then was the rather obtuse one at the end, which was a bit of a pain. But on the whole, I suppose I can't argue too much. I'll certainly take this type of game over other puzzle games. So this, Quern, the Mist ones, those kind of ones are quite good, I think. Abduction as well was pretty good in that aspect. Can we can continue. Okay, so we didn't quite get all the hidden bits and pieces. Now we can carry on, and when the credits were rolling, there did seem to be some more... Oh, it's taken my clues away. I was going to say, it did seem to be some more numbers interspersed with the symbols that we were using previously. So I don't know whether that was a hint at some bits and pieces. I might have to go and decipher them and see what the numbers are and see if that's any indication of anything, basically. But to be honest, I think that's it for now. So we've seen the whole game, I believe. I'm not quite sure how we're supposed to find the other leftover bits and pieces. There were a few things downstairs which I hadn't managed to solve. I may very well go back at some point and have a look at those, but I think that's it for now. So I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope it gave you a reasonable idea of what to expect. It is one I would recommend playing. Although I suppose if you've gotten to this point, you've pretty much seen everything the game has to offer. But if you skipped ahead, I would say, yeah, go back and give it a go for yourself. So that's everything, and I will see you next time for the next game.